So how well is your country doing with renewables? So first off, let's take a quick look at this chart. Now, all this data I've been getting from Our World in Data, and this chart here shows the share of electricity production around the world by source. Now, as you can see, coal, and this goes from 85 to 23, coal is still the number one source of power production, but it does appear to be decreasing, which is good. Then we've got gas. Now, that's on the way up, which is not the best, but it's probably slightly better than having coal burning. So then we've got hydropower, which unfortunately seems to be decreasing. Now, these are percentages, obviously, so as something else takes off, others will be going down. Nuclear, good, that is dropping. And we've got this idiot here in Australia who wants to build lots of nuclear power stations. I suggest he goes and has a look at Hinkley in England. He'll soon find out just how expensive and how long it takes. But nuclear is on the way down. Now, the two big winners here are wind and solar that are on that beginning of the S-curve going up. Thankfully, oil is going down. Bioenergy is on the way up. I don't like that one because that's just burning wood and so on. Other renewables really isn't making any indentation. So there we have the share of electricity production by source. But how is each country doing? Now, I've got some charts here that I've made up that are the top 10 countries for the major power production. So first off, we're going to have a look at the number of coal-fired power stations in countries, and the top 10 appear here. Now, China is obviously number one, and they've only got about 1,142, if memory serves me correctly, coal-fired power stations. Now, I did get a comment on a video I did a few months ago. Oh, China are making over 1,000 power stations a week, yet they've only got 1,142. So that blows that one out of the water. Then you've got India, USA doing not too bad. Japan, Indonesia, Russia, Germany, Poland, Turkey, and Ukraine taking out the top 10 positions. So power stations, yeah, as you saw in the original thing, coal-fired power stations are on the decline, but there's still quite a few around. So here we've got the top 10 countries producing electricity from geothermal and biomass. USA, 42-ish terawatt hours. Japan is second with just over 15 or 16 terawatt hours. And then we've got a handful of countries doing 5 and under, which is Philippines, Mexico, Italy, Brazil, Canada, New Zealand, Sweden and France. And you're going to see Sweden popping up in a few of these graphs now. And they're only a small country as well, so this isn't doing too bad for Sweden. So geothermal, so all these figures do include biomass, but we'll just have to put up with that. And next we come to the top 10 countries producing electricity from hydro. And China is right up there with well over 1,200 terawatt hours of hydroelectricity. Then you've got Brazil, Canada, USA, Russia, India, Norway, Vietnam, Japan, and Sweden again. They're all doing a little bit. And we can look to China, who, although they've got the most coal-fired power stations, they are very power hungry, but they are doing very well in a lot of these items. So as I said earlier, our illustrious leader of the opposition wants to build lots of nuclear power stations. And nuclear is on the decline. But here we've got the top 10 countries that are producing electricity from nuclear energy, and USA is leading the way with just over 800 terawatt hours. China is in there at number 2 with 400 and something. France, not surprisingly, they've got quite a few nuclear reactors. And then you've got Russia, South Korea, China, Ukraine, Spain, Japan, and Sweden. All right. So nuclear energy, as I said, it's on the decline. And the USA does have a lot of nuclear power stations. All right, so now we're getting to the good stuff, the renewables, a bit more so. Solar. The top 10 countries producing electricity from solar. And at long last, Australia appears here, and we've got a lot of sunshine. So China, look at that. 450 terawatt hours of solar electricity. USA comes in second, and surprised me was Japan was third and India fourth. And then going down, you've got Germany, Brazil, and finally Australia gets in there with about 40 odd terawatt hours. But we've got so much sun, we could produce more than enough for the whole world just about. Vietnam surprised me, Spain and Italy. So some of these European countries are making their appearance, certainly in the renewable energy line, which is good for Europe. And so rounding out the renewables, we've got the top 10 countries producing electricity from wind. China, back up at number 1 again. USA is number 2. Germany is in there at number 3, and then you've got the rest. Brazil, UK. Now, the UK, I know, has got a lot of offshore wind production. Over here in Western Australia, they're touting trying to build something off the southwest coast, which would be good. India, Spain, France, Canada, and Sweden are in there again. So, all up, wind production is going very well. So at the end of the day, I think we need a mixture of wind and solar with some storage. Now that storage could be pumped hydro, that sort of thing, batteries. I think batteries are obviously the main form of storage because they can be switched over within milliseconds. So you get a big power cut, bang, you can switch over the generation from the batteries much quicker. So there we have it. Quick rundown of the electricity production around the world. As I've said, Our World in Data, I got a lot of these figures from, and I think that that's quite interesting for some countries that are doing very well. Now, something like China, they're doing very well. They're also not doing quite so well with the coal, but hopefully they will be replacing that slowly. They need massive amounts of energy because they've got a huge industrial production. So hopefully they will begin to replace some of those coal-fired power stations with more renewables. Other countries are doing all right. USA is obviously a big country, and India is in there as well, which is quite good. Australia being a small in number population, and we've only got about 26 to 27 million population, whereas the USA is about 320 million. So they're over 12 times bigger than us, just about. And the country's the same size. So we here in Australia have got a lot of space to put in solar panels and wind farms. We just need to build more of them, and then we could become a global leader. So what do you think? Make a comment below. How well did your country do there? And what do you think to increasing the renewables? And while you're down there, there's that like, subscribe and bell icon. Give them a click for me. Thanks very much. It costs you nothing, but it does help the channel tremendously. So thank you very much for doing that, and I'll see you all very soon.